you, and I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you for your patience, as it is Mercury retrograde, and I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties. And the technical difficulties are that I had two microphones, and this one is dying. So, if you were here yesterday and you saw that my sound cut out, I apologize. I didn't realize that the mic stopped working, and I just went to charge this one. I have two mics, and I don't know where the second mic is. So that's my technical difficulties. I can't blame that on Mercury. I can only blame that on my own lack of organization. Like, I literally had them out, and now they're gone. So if that's you, I want you to know you're not alone and you're not crazy. So let me go ahead and put this on myself, and then we'll jump in. We're gonna work today. I don't like that. Hold on. Sorry, guys. All right, we're gonna work today, so I'm really, really excited that you're here. We're gonna bring some blocks, okay? Bring some blocks, bring your baddest bitch energy, and then we're gonna jump in. I guess I should see if we're live. I'll check on my end, and I'm gonna do frequent checks to see if this mic is working or not. Oh, I should have tested my shirt too, because this is a little bit close to my neck. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do some frequent checks throughout our class today and make sure that the mic is working. If it stops working, I'm just going to project my voice louder, and we'll just have to roll with it, okay? Because, yeah, that's how life goes. So if you're ready with me, first of all, how were your 2 little rest-ish days? I hope you had a good time just relaxing and restoring your energy and your vitality, because we're going to work today. We're going to move, we're going to work, and it's going to be really fun. So let me go ahead and meet you on my mat. I'll make sure that we're all set up. If you have any questions for me, let me know. We're going to get into our hips, our hammies, and you're going to be closer than you've ever been in your split today, okay? Oh, no. I don't know if my necklace is bothering the mic, but I think we'll be fine. I'm just going to do a quick test. Test, does the sound? All right. Okay, the sound is fine. All right, we're doing great. All right, you ready? So, wherever you are, just stand nice and tall, ground in your feet, fully arrive here today in this now here present moment. When you bring your hands to heart center, this is called Anjane Mudra. Anjane Mudra? Damn. Sorry. And what it does is it is a mudra that harmonizes the left and right sides of your brain. So when you apply the pressure between both of your palms and you stand up nice and tall and you breathe really deeply in and out through the lungs, you give yourself the opportunity to balance the masculine and the feminine energy within yourself, the thinking and the creative sides within yourself. You get to bring all those pieces of you together into the wholeness that you are. We're going to take another deep breath in, fill up the lungs. And a big exhale. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. Thank you for showing up on your mat. Let's start with a sun salutation. A. Next breath in, arms out and up. Exhale, fold. We're going to lift up halfway. And on the exhale, we'll fold. Plant those hands, step back. High plank, maybe rock the weight forwards and backwards like we've been doing. And you'll feel this stretch in the back of your ankles and your wrists as you shift your weight forward. We're going to lower down. Inhaling, back bend. And then exhaling, meeting in a downward facing dog. We're going to take 5 breaths in this down dog. So inviting whatever movement or stillness you'd like. On the next breath in, let's lift up high on the toes together. Big exhale, drop those heels. Sending them back down into the earth. Next breath in, lift up high. Exhale, drop the heels. We're going to take that right foot to the sky. Maybe you make some circles in the ankle or in the toes. If you're going one way in the ankle, go the other way. Think about extending nice and tall. Keep the shoulders square. Big inhale. And then as you exhale, draw that knee to your nose. Hug it in as tight as you can to the body. And then the next breath, coming back out, three-legged dog. Inhaling and then exhaling, we're going to draw that right knee to the right shoulder. Inhaling back, three-legged dog. Good job. Next breath, other shoulder or elbow. And then coming back into a three-legged dog. Good. Next, we're going to place that right foot between the hands. Flex the foot. Drop it there and go ahead and drop the knees. We're going to move into Anjaneyasana. So take both of your hands up above your head. Draw your hips forward. Feel your core nice and engaged as you open into a back bend. Imagine that you're drawing your right hip back, left hip forward so that these hips are nice and square. I find that sometimes I'll tend to splay my hips open, and that's not really the shape we're going for right now. So just draw those hips to be square with your mat, and then take your arms up. Keep the core nice and tight. Breathe. Good. We're going to go ahead and plant left hand down, right hand up. Lift up the back knee. And I'm going to do a little bit of rocking forwards and backwards. This just feels really good for me right now. Do whatever feels good for you. 3, 2, 1. We're going to meet in a warrior 2. So just go ahead and cartwheel all the way up. I'm going to turn around so that I can fix you, but you stay where you are. And in this warrior, you've got your back foot in line with your front foot. Get a nice bend in this front knee. You want the knee stacked over the ankle, and I want you to draw your knee out towards the pinky toe edge of your foot. Keep your arms nice and long. Gaze over the front hand. Big breath here. And on the exhale, maybe sink a little bit deeper in the hip. And notice how your hips are open here. Yeah. Good. Another big inhale. And a big exhale. Sinking maybe just a tiny bit deeper. On the next breath in, we're going to take both of our hands up, straighten the front knee. And then exhale, warrior 2. Inhale. And then exhale, warrior 2. Good. Last one. Inhale, straighten, lengthen. Exhale, warrior 2. Good job. Now what we're going to do from here, you can drop your hands. We're going to take that back foot. We're just going to step it in a couple steps. All right, and you're going to have to adjust for your own body type. But notice how we just moved our back leg forward. We're going to take our hips, put your hands on your hips, turn them forward to the front of your mat. I know I'm facing the opposite direction of you probably right now, but just follow along. So you're going to face the front of your mat. Inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to lead with our heart open in our collarbones, right? So imagine that you're drawing your shoulders back. Your heart is open. And then you're going to very, very slowly just walk your hands down your front leg for this pyramid. Okay, what I don't want to see, and I know you know what I'm going to say, is you rounding in your back as opposed to keeping your tailbone with a nice tilt in the pelvis, right? If you've got that round, what are we doing? We're losing the length in our hamstrings. Yeah. So stay here, open in the heart, open in the chest, big breath, and then exhale, just fold. And go as deep as you can go, finding that line between pain and discomfort. Don't do it if it's painful. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you go all the way down. Maybe you hang on to some blocks in this pyramid pose. Maybe you're like right here, right? But what's important here is that I'm not keeping my hips open. My hips are very nice and square. I can feel that stretch in my right hamstring. Maybe you keep your hands on your knee. Maybe you bring them to the ground. And then once you get here, settle into your breathing. Are my inhales nice and slow? Are my exhales the same length as my inhales? Maybe nod your head yes and no. Are you holding tension in your neck? Maybe you shake it left and right. Maybe you nod again. And just release. Taking about one more deep breath here. One more exhale. And then we're going to slowly just come all the way up to standing. Bring your back leg to meet your front leg. You should be at the top of your mat now. And just go ahead and wiggle it out. Shake your legs. Bend your knees. Swing your arms. Whenever I get my knees nice and bent and my pelvis, I feel like everything's very bouncy down here. And I swing my arms, I can almost crack my back. So just do this if it feels good. And then come back up to center. Hands to heart center. Anjali Mudra. Centering the left and right sides of the brain. Harmonizing the divine masculine and the divine feminine within us. Good. Let's take a nice big inhale together. And a big exhale. Next breath in, arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Plant those hands, step back, high plank. You can totally skip these high planks and chaturangas if you want to. Or you can take it down. Inhaling for a back bend and then exhale, meet in the downward facing dog. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. So inviting whatever movement or stillness you'd like. Maybe you rock your hips side to side. Or maybe you just find stillness. Wherever you are, keeping the integrity of the stretch, the integrity of the pose. And then on the next breath in, let's go ahead and lift up our left leg. I don't know when the sound cut out, but I'm gonna test this really quick. Meet me in a down dog. Lift up your left leg to the sky. Yeah, this looks like it's dead, so we're gonna try this. Okay, can you hear me? I'm so frustrated, but you know what? That's okay. In life, we deal with the ups and the downs, and we don't make a big deal out of it. So let's get into a downward facing dog. Bring your left leg to the sky. I'm going to turn off that sound, and I'm just going to project my voice a little bit louder. So left leg up, big breath in. And then on the exhale, we're going to bend and flex and make circles in that ankle. Good. We're going to go ahead and bend the knee, open in the hip. Make big hip circles. And then on the next inhale, extend the left leg, big breath. And then exhale, taking it to the nose. Another big breath in, lift up high. Exhaling, left knee, left shoulder. Good. Inhaling up, extend, big inhale. Exhale, cross it over the body, just like we did on the other side. And then another inhale. We're going to take this knee to the nose one more time. Flex the foot, plant it between the hands, meet in Anjaneyasana, drop the back leg. Inhale, both arms raised to the sky. Keep that core nice and engaged. And stop these hips from opening up. Draw the right hip forward, left hip back as the arms raise. Once you get here, you can sink a little deeper. Yeah, good. And if you're having a hard time hearing me, just let me know. Nice, deep inhales. And slow exhales. And whenever you're ready, we're going to plant the right hand. Left hand stays up. We're going to lift up the back leg. In this lunge twist. On the next inhale, we'll meet in a warrior two. So cartwheel the hands, the feet are in line. We're gonna bend this front knee so that the knee is stacked over the ankle. Arms out by your sides. Keep your core nice and tight. Imagine that you're tall in your spine and sink deep in the hips. Yeah, good. And if you've got this right knee in the front, go ahead and just imagine you're pulling it towards the outer blade edge, like where your pinky toes are. And breathe. You know what's next. Big inhale, straighten that front leg, arms go up. And then exhaling, warrior two. Again, inhale, clap. Exhale, warrior two. Last one, big breath in, arms up, legs straight. Exhaling, warrior two. So good. All right, we're gonna take this back leg and we're gonna bring it forward so that we can move into our pyramid pose. Put your hands on your hips, draw those hips to the front of the mat, and then we're gonna do the same thing we did on the other side. So big inhale, open in the heart, open in the chest. You're drawing your collarbones and the shoulders all back. We're not rounding in our back. We're keeping that nice pelvic tilt here. We've got our hips squared to the front. Big inhale. And then on the exhale, we're just gonna fold, hinge at the hips, and walk down this left leg. And just go as deep as you can go. And maybe with each inhale, you send your breath to your stretch, right? Maybe you send your breath to your hamstrings. Then maybe on the exhale, you may even find a little bit of a deeper stretch. Maybe. Don't push it, but maybe. Releasing any tension in the neck or in the face. Taking about 2 more deep breaths here. Still imagining that you're drawing this right hip forward and left hip back in space, really to get that stretch in the hamstring on the left side. Whenever you're ready, we're gonna come up. We're gonna bring this back leg to meet the front leg in mountain pose. Let's go ahead and shake it out. Wiggle. Do some body rolls. Maybe you draw your shoulders up to your ears and make some shoulder rolls. And then let's go ahead and turn the toes outward. Meet in a yogi squat. And if you need to adjust your feet, moving them out to the side, that's cool. And we're gonna do some of these yogi squat to forward fold pulses. So next breath in, I want you to think about length in the spine and opening in the hips. And then on the exhale, turn the toes forward, meet in a forward fold. Inhaling, coming back into the yogi squat. Maybe you rock side to side. And then exhale, forward fold. We'll do that a couple more times as you inhale, Malasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. And you may even hear your own breathing if you've activated an Ujjayi breath, which sounds like the ocean in the back of the throat. And you may find that by activating that Ujjayi breath and you hearing your own breathing, that you find it easier to move through the poses. One more. Good. Now let's just go ahead and come all the way down to a seat. Take your feet out wide, Baddha Konasana. And we're gonna go into a frog. And we'll hold it for about 2 minutes. Actually, should we do a full straddle or frog today? Let's do frog today, straddle tomorrow, because yesterday was a little bit more of like an active rest day. And we'll do 2 minutes in frog. So I'm gonna use the timer here. If you have blocks, these might be helpful. You can place them under your chest or under your chin. And wherever you are, just trust yourself. Oh yeah, hydrate if you need to. And let's go. I hope that you're warm and that you feel nice and juicy in your hips. And then we're gonna just sink into this frog pose. So remember that frog pose is a little bit intense. So if you're feeling pain, instead of discomfort, back out and do something that's gonna feel a little bit better for you. If you're down and it feels uncomfortable because it's not gonna feel necessarily pleasant in this pose, then just breathe and center your awareness. Ready? We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. And once you get there, just make sure that your hips are at like a 90-degree angle with your knees, that are at a 90-degree angles with your ankles and your feet. And I want you to keep your feet nice and flexed. So notice how my feet are flexed, they're not pointed. That just changed the shape of my legs. Keep your feet flexed, keep your legs active. We talked about active and passive stretching a couple days ago, and so remember that. And then if you want, you can get down onto your forearms. You can put your entire chest on the ground if you're there, or you can put yourself up on some blocks. And once you get into the pose, get into the breath. With each inhale, sending that breath to your hips. And with each exhale, allowing another piece of your body to soften. Even if it's just the space between the eyebrows or your tongue. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and come up gently. My favorite way to come up is to just walk my hands further forward and allow my hips to come forward onto the ground. And then slowly, steadily bring my knees in. And you can bend those knees and you can rock your feet side to side a bit. And then whenever you're ready, just come up. Maybe take a child's pose. And then coming up, we're gonna do our front splits, both sides of them. Yay! All right, and so before we get into those, let's do what we've been doing the last couple of days. I really want you to have like some lubrication and mobility in these joints and in these hips before we get into the splits. I know a lot of people who've hurt themselves, so we want to be as safe as possible, and we really want to just do a good job of taking care of ourselves. This is a long game project, not just a quick day 8, now you're fully in your split, unless you are. And if you are fully in your split, you can start working on your over splits, which means you're going to put something like a block or maybe like a foam roll or whatever under your front leg as we go into this, right? But for now, let's just go ahead and meet in like an Anjaneyasana type runner's lunge pose. We've got our hips squared to the front, and you can place your hands down I'm dropping my hips here, and then I'm flexing my foot in this like half monkey Ardha Hanumanasana pose with those toes flexing towards my face. And we're gonna take a couple movements back and forth here, really just inviting some lubrication in that joint before we move into our split. And if you don't have a split at all, if it's really uncomfortable for you to get your leg all the way forward, even if you're just like 5 inches off the ground and you're like, I really don't feel like I'm ready for this yet, then I want you to take these 2 minutes in the pose in a half split. So if you're right here and you feel this and it hurts like a mother, not hurts, discomfort. If it's really uncomfortable, then stay here. I don't want you going into a full split and being in pain like up here if it doesn't feel good. We have like literally 3 more weeks after this week. No, 3 more weeks to like work on this. So just trust your body, trust the process. And please feel free to use blocks and utilize your resources so that you can get the most benefit out of this course. So anyways, next breath in. And then we're going to release, coming down into a split. And I'm going to time us for 2 minutes. Once you get there, check your hips. Are your hips open or are they square? If they're not square, square them up. If your legs aren't active, get them active. I'm working on my real splits. My fake splits are really good, but my real splits are not that great. So I'm gonna use some blocks and I'm gonna breathe. And with each exhale, maybe I can find myself getting a little bit deeper into the pose. I've got my legs nice and activated and strong. And I'm actively thinking about drawing my right hip forward and my left hip back, and I'm sitting up as tall as I can on my hips. There should be even distribution of weight between your hips. And try not to move. I know I'm moving a lot and I'm being a horrible example of that. Almost there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just come on out. Take a little breather. We're gonna do the other side and then we'll be done for today. So maybe you take a butterfly pose. Maybe you just do a little twist or a stretch, or just do something that's gonna make you come back to this center. Maybe you just sit and take a couple breaths. All right, let's do it again. Other side. I'm just gonna turn around so that we're all facing the same way. We're gonna take that right leg forward, left leg back, and we're gonna make some of those little pulse movements between the half split, the Ardha Hanumanasana, and the runner's lunge / half Anjaneyasana. And just give yourself permission to adjust your leg, moving with your own breathing, and this is also really helpful on blocks. And we'll do this for about 5 more breaths, because we really want our hips and our hammies and our hip flexors to be ready and open. Last one. Good. Now we're gonna do our split, okay? You got this. Ready, ready, ready? 3, 2, oh. I don't know if I gave you enough direction. I think you know what you're doing. I think you know how to do a split, and if you have questions, let me know. But keep your blocks handy if you need to. I'm gonna start the timer now. Take your front leg forward, back leg backward. You can stay in that half split if you want to. If you see what I'm doing, which my back knee is kind of down, I am actively working on not doing that. I'm trying to press my whole leg and keep it nice and active, and same thing with my front leg. I want both of my legs to be, imagine that they're both pressing into the ground, and I'm drawing my left hip forward, my right hip backward. I'm sitting up nice and tall. And I'm making sure that my back foot is directly behind me, not turning inward or outward. And while you're in this pose, asking yourself, where can I soften? Breathing in and out through the nose. We got 30 seconds left. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release, come out. Meet me at the front of your mat in a comfortable cross-legged seat, bringing your hands to heart center. Let's take a big breath in together. Really honoring this space, honoring our bodies, honoring our abilities to show up for ourselves in this way. Take another nice deep inhale and a big exhale. Maybe feeling the energy moving between your palms from one hand to the other as the light and dark within us balances each other out. Thanks for working with me today. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. I'm so grateful and so excited to see you doing your splits. Sitting in your split for like 2 minutes every day is what really gets you there, okay? So do it safely. We're gonna warm up together. We're gonna open our hips and our hammies together, and then we're gonna be safe as we move into these stretches, these deep stretches that you're gonna be holding for long periods of time. And this is how the rest of our journey is gonna go together. The beginning of each week, we'll get a little bit more power, and then towards the end of the week, we'll get a little bit more passive and relaxing, and we'll keep doing this for 4 whole weeks. So keep locking the fuck in. You've got this. You're doing such an incredible job, okay? There's a place within each of us where the entire universe dwells. A place of peace, love, clarity, joy, and abundance. When I'm in that place within me, and you are in that place within you, we are one. Namaste. I'm really proud of you for showing up for yourself. Don't forget to stay hydrated and cross off your accountability calendar for your split streak. I apologize about the sound quality today. I will have my shit together tomorrow, I promise. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, concerns, let me know. I apologize again about the sound for yesterday too. I didn't realize that the mic cut out, but I'm charging it now, and I will find my other microphone, I think. I don't know. I'm chaotic, and I just want to show you that you can show up in whatever way you can. Okay, chaos is a part of life. We're humans. You're not going to be perfect, and neither am I. So I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to show up for you because I love you. And I hope that you just do your best and show up for you because you love you too. All right, see you tomorrow for day 9 of the 30-day split challenge. I'm so grateful and excited. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye.